Right, this is just a little bit of information about the Mavic Mini, DJI Mavic Mini. There's a Mavic Mini 2 out now, but I plumbed for the original Mavic Mini for the price. £369 with one battery, fly more combo, £459. Two extra batteries and a bunch of other stuff, carry case and things like that. First flight today. I've been really surprised at the fact that it flies just like any other Mavic. It's got probably the same footprint as the Mavic Air. It's not as, the body's not as large. The body's about the size of a Spark. It's 10 times the drone the Spark is. It flies so nice and it's so stable. My first thing of it is it's pretty cool. I have a Mavic 2 Pro that I use for all the video and aerial photography that I do, but I got this one because the simple fact is it's 249 grams. It's gonna help me to do things that I normally wouldn't be able to do with a Mavic 2 Pro without going through a load of preparation. I mean, a lot more preparation. Obviously, you're going to have to do a bit of preparation with this. But anyway, this is a cute consumer drone, and it's like I say, £369, I think. Yeah, £369 entry. And as you can see, the quality of the video is quite astonishing for it. It is 2.7K. I think it's 25 frames per second. 30, I think. But anyway, it does 12 megapixel stills, a bunch of options for the video shooting, 1080, 60p, 1080, 60 frames per second, and things like that. It's pretty nifty. Like I say, it's my first flight this, so I'm pretty tentative to find out what it is. But I've had no problems here. I'm quite away from myself. I'm over near those pods. There's another still from there. They say this thing transmission's 4 kilometres. Well, it's not. In England, it's 2 kilometres. 4 kilometres is FCC in America. You don't. I don't know why you'd need to be 4 kilometres, because you wouldn't see it. You can barely see it at 1,000 feet. Is it 1,500 feet, 500 meters? Anyway, but as you can see, the video quality is pretty good for what it is, and anybody who's just buying a drone to grab the view of the surrounding areas and have a little bit of fun and do some amateur video and things like that. And even, I'm saying amateur video, you could probably, if you were a dab hand with some video editing software, you could do some decent work with this. 30 minutes flight time on the batteries, questionable. I'd be more around your 20 minutes, I think, flying about in normal circumstances. If you've got no wind, perfect day, yeah, you probably could push it to 30. I never fly that long anyway. I always leave about a third of the battery to land with. I'm flying as far as I dare. So I'm flying across here, and there's trees between me and the drone at the moment. Well, sorry, between me and between the transmitter and a drone. So I'm reaching. It's not a bad distance. I can't quite remember what it was on there, but I start to lose. I get a little bit glitchy on the video feed here. So I decide to stop and turn around, have a little look around. It's not the best way to film when you spin around like this, but anyway, it's just to turn us around to face either way. And what I did from here is I took a couple of stills of the site, and I decided to try the return to home, which is a feature. If you can't see where it is, you should be able to all the time, but if you can't see where it is, or if it loses signal, it'll return to home. So I've pressed the button, it's way all the way over here. I took off from this picnic bench just there, and I had a fly around like you've seen, and I just, when I was over at the top of the lakes, I pressed return to home. I haven't touched I'm obviously holding it, but I haven't touched any of the inputs, and it's just coming back, and I am amazed how near to the takeoff point it came. So it makes its way down. This is all autonomous. I'm not doing anything at all. It comes down here and it stops right above where it took off, which is pretty impressive for that little drone. Yeah, I'm over the moon with it. I'm going to be using it a lot. 3 batteries, 459 quid, and the other bits and bobs, extra propellers. Yeah, the thing about this thing is so light that if you do bump it on, I mean, I don't mean fall out of the sky, but if you bump it when you're just flying around, yeah, it's not going to do much damage. And when you've got Mavic 2 Pro, it's a lot heavier than this, and it comes down with a bang rather than just flutters down and bounces. So yeah, that's my review on this for the first flight. I'm well impressed, and I've been flying drones for 5-6 years. Yeah, I'm flying across here, and I've done this because there's woods in between me and this building. I know there's nothing around here that I could interfere with. So I'll just have a quick fly over here. Started getting interference just around here, not with anything else but the video feed. Inputs and everything were alright on the controller, so I decided to come back. It's not a good idea to fly backwards, but I knew where it come from. I've got it's in my view now because I've gone up over the top of the trees. And yeah, my first impressions of this thing is it's well worth the money, and it's good enough to do it for anybody who's everyday consumer stuff. It hasn't got all the bells and whistles the others have got, but you pay a lot more money for them. It hasn't got follow me, but you can get the Lights app, and it'll be on there. I don't use, well, I say I don't use them. I may do now, but anyway, here's a couple more stills that I took today. These come out and a little bit enhanced in the DJI Fly app, but this is how they come on the camera. I haven't fiddled with any of it. Right, I'll leave you all there. Thanks a lot. Bye.